has come. It's here. It's now. We're getting into Warhammer. Wait. Where are my freckles? I cannot do this without my freckles. Hello, freckies? Oh, there. Stickies. Okay. Aha! I cannot get into Warhammer without my freckles. Nyaho. Leora, you get the first guess! Oh, shit. Oh. Nyaho, Leora. Nyaho, Calio. Nyaho, Atimo. Nyaho, Eeyore. Hi, everybody. Today is the first ever ReactkKana. We're reacting to Warhammer. Do you know what Warhammer is? I don't. I'm gonna be real. So, oh, she hammering. Warhammer? I hardly know her. And that's the freaking video by anyways. Changing the stream name to Warhammer, I hardly know her. Oh my gosh. I'm streaking a 3-stream streakeroni Eeyore. But yeah, Warhammer has been something I have been it's been in my peripherals for a while. Sasha used to date a guy who was into Warhammer. I like miniatures. I used to see on Reddit and other places like people putting their Warhammer miniatures, like the Warhammer girlies dating the little Rement girlies and putting their little Warhammer guys into cute little things. Like, that could be me. I could be the Warhammer girly and the mini girly. Sasha dates guys. Unfortunately, Sasha has dated some guys. We can forgive her. We can forgive her. But yeah. They're tiny. They're cute. From what I know about Warhammer, you make your tiny little guys, you put them together, you paint them, and then you do some tabletop D&D with them. Is that not Warhammer? I don't know. We're gonna find out today. But yeah, it looks cute. It looks fun. If you didn't know, one of my moderators, Vtuber, is also interested in Warhammer. When I was doing ReactkKana, he was like, hey, I'm starting Warhammer. Do you want to paint some of my models for ReactkKana? And I was like, yeah. And I think that was a year ago. Poor guy sent me the little figures. I haven't painted it yet. Hopefully he's not too active in his Warhammer scene because I have his little figures. Nyaho hecka. But I thought, you know what? I can't just jump into painting them. I gotta get to know them, right? I need to know their story. Who are these little guys that I'm painting? Yes, I want to make them pink. But I need to get to know them. Okay? So, I think what better way to get to know them than to have someone who knows them tell me about them. Those figures are expensive. Thank Vtuber for donating those. He didn't donate them. He wants me to paint them on stream and then send it back to him so he can play with them. Which means he's given us the freedom to make them cute and pink and rainbow, and he's just gonna show up wherever he's playing Warhammer, and he's gonna send in his little guys, and they're gonna be all cute, and everybody's gonna be like, brother, what the heck? And he's gonna be like, some fish on the internet did this, okay? Okay. Have you ever seen a purple orc? No, but I can. I like going to board game shops, and I always see people selling their painted little Warhammer guys, and they're usually painted like, you know, I think as they should be painted. But how cute and fun would it be to like just have some cute little guys? Effectively donated them since you still have them. Okay, I'll give them back. I'll give them back this year. Look, this is step 1 of returning the minis to Verdope. This is also step 1 of getting more from Verdope. So yeah. Or just getting more. I have some that are just for me. They're mine. They're fish. That was a throne prezi. But yeah. Let's learn about them. Orcs have fun lore. Well, I'm gonna find out about the orcs and their fun little lore, aren't I? We're all gonna find out. If you don't know, you're gonna learn with me. And if you do know, you're gonna teach me. And you know what? Maybe we can learn some psychology behind the Warhammer, right? Maybe we can learn something about ourselves when we learn about the Warhammer. So let's get into it. John. I'm a little bit small. I can afford to be larger. Okay. We are going to start with YouTuber Bricky with 1.12 million subscribers. What is Warhammer 40,000? Timeline of 40k lore. With 2,291 views. Uploaded on October 6th. Did you know Bricky used to YouTube the Curse game? And we don't judge him for that. We don't judge Bricky for that. When I wanted to get into Warhammer lore, I know there's a few of you who like Warhammer, who know some of the stuff, but this introduction was given to us by... Callio. Thank you, Callio, for pointing me in the direction for learning lore. I also saw Bricky play Halo with Miwa. That was wild. Bricky play Halo with Miwa? Oh, I love Miwa. What can she do? Is his name Bricky because he used to like Minecraft? Or Legos? Where's Bricky's lore? Is there a lore video for Bricky? I feel like in order to know more about Warhammer, I should know more about the man who's teaching me the Warhammer. Did we ever think of that? You're welcome. I'm not into Warhammer. Well, maybe you'll get into it today as we jump in to what is Warhammer. He spammed his curse game videos on Reddit till he popped off. So, where are the bricks? Maybe he'll teach us in this video. Let us begin!
In the grim darkness of the 41st millennium exists the Empire of Man, a backwards carcass of an empire comprised of many devoted forces.
Okay, so it's giving movie. Audio low. Okay, hold on. How's this?
In the grim dark...
How's that?
Darkness of the 41st...
How's that audio? Oh, I can also adjust the audio on YouTube. That'll probably help.
In the grim...
Holy. How's that?
In the grim darkness of the 41st
How's that?
millennium...
That is good. Okay. I realize my YouTube video is never up. Okay. Let us begin. He's setting the mood.
In the grim darkness of the 41st millennium exists the Empire of Man, a backwards carcass of an empire...
41st millennium. We're in the second millennium. This is 38,000 years from now. Got it.
Empire comprised of many devoted forces, gigantic robot knights, religious machine cultists, and incredibly heavily armored...
Mommy! We found a woman! You guys didn't tell me there were women in this! I would have watched this earlier! Yeah, I'll fucking one. Okay, continue.
Armored women most likely with sweltering abs and
Whoa. He knows his audience. Let's go back to the woman.
just machine cultists and incredibly heavily armored women, most likely with sweltering abs. And
Heavily armored woman with sweltering abs.
one must know what those abs taste like.
Oh. We're tasting them? Riri 100% told you they were a woman. Okay. But she should have showed me the woman. Oh! It's an ad. We got an ad. You know what? We support streamers. Hello, Tubty. I like the build up here. This was creative. I like what he's doing here.
Gamer Sup's flavor is here.
This is, what did I just open? An advertisement. This is Bricky's advertisement. This is how Homeboy's getting his bag. And Homeboy is helping me understand, so I'm gonna help him. I'm not helping him. He's probably getting his bag without me.
Sweet 6-pack, not only in regular energy mode, but also in caffeine-free.
Caffeine-free.
Flavor is not the kind of flavor that just smacks you in
No
the
shame
face.
on what you watch in your free time. Hey, this is not what the video is about. We're just supporting. We're supporting other content creators. The video's not about this. We're learning about Warhammer. I promise.
Link in the description.
I promise this is Warhammer.
Bricky for 10% off your
Use code
entire
Bricky.
order. Not just for this, but for everything you buy.
This is gonna be the Twitch thumbnail for sure. No, it's not. No, it's not. I made a thumbnail. I'll upload that instead.
Sweet 6-pack flavor. You will get.
Don't worry.
Muscle Girl
Oh, wait.
shaker completely.
Wait, I'm
free.
listening.
There
Hold
are
on.
only a couple thousand of those shakers.
Oh,
So
they're
get
gone
it
now.
while supplies
This was
last.
2023.
I
You
cannot
think his
believe we
code still
finally have
works?
this, but I told everyone, like, once you
I
find
didn't
out
know
the flavor,
Warhammer was
you'll
out
be like,
about
yeah,
buff
that
woman.
tracks.
Me
And
neither.
damn straight does it track.
They should have told
Sweet
us.
6-pack available
What the heck?
now. Code Bricky, link in the description.
They are long gone. Aw, Code Bricky. Pour one out for Code Bricky. Pour one out for Code Bricky. Oh, we got birds.
The age of knowledge and enlightenment
Has ended. Oh, the age of knowledge and enlightenment has ended. They've turned 27. They've been hiding their secrets to the general fishes. They have. What the heck? Warhammer, put me on your advertising team. I will advertise all of the women.
The age of darkness has begun.
They're in their 30s. Heard.
Roughly 60 million years ago, there existed aliens. And
What?
these aliens lived short, painful lives. They belong.
Hold on. 60 million years ago. But Warhammer is in the year 40,000. Oh, math. So this lore spans 640, no. Huh? 600 million? 600 million and 40? 2026? Math's hard. Match hard. Moth hard. Spelling hard. This is not about math.
Belonged to radiation-stricken worlds and often died of various cancers before the age of 30. These aliens,
Before the age of 30! Everybody after 30 is cooked!
Necron tier looked up to the stars and found extreme beings of real power. Beings with the ability to create life. The
That's Jabba the Hutt.
old ones of the galaxy. They asked these old
Oh,
ones for
that's
help,
Gallifreyan.
"Please cure us of our ailments." To which the old ones said, piss off. So the Necron tier gathered together and did the sensible thing. They declared war upon these old beings and were promptly beaten into the dirt back to their short, painful lives. In the world of Warhammer...
Okay, so the aliens were here. So were they not aliens? If they were here, were they not aliens? Or were the old ones the non-aliens? Did aliens just come here and then they were getting sick and then they found the old ones? Hold on. We're 3 minutes in. Hold on. Run that back. Aliens.
And these aliens lived short, painful lives. They
Short,
belonged to radiation
24-year-old aliens.
Often died of various cancers before the age of 30.
Never made it to 30.
The Necron tier looked up to the stars and found extreme beings of real power.
Okay, they're also aliens. The old ones are aliens. The aliens are aliens. Nobody's 30. Got it.
With the ability to create life. The old ones.
The ability to create women. They were women.
Of the galaxy. They asked these old ones for help. Please cure us of our ailments. To which the old ones said, piss off. So the Necron team gathered together and did the sensible thing. They declared war upon these old beings and were promptly beaten into the dirt back to their short.
They disrespected their elders.
In the world of Warhammer, there is a hell. This hell is not like you and I know it. It's more of an afterlife. A place where
20-year-old aliens, yep. Never made it to the age of 30, and now we're learning about hell.
Dead souls end up. This place has many names. The Empyrean, the Sea of Souls, the Immaterium.
The Sea of Souls, you say, to a fish? Shall we swim there?
And the Ether. But mostly, we just call it the Warp. While you and I know of hell as a place of horrors and punishment,
I know hell as school. But okay, go on.
The warp isn't really that. Not in the beginning. It's energy, but the kind of energy formed from thought and soul.
Hell is formed from thought and soul? Damn. Sounds like the poems I used to write in high school. Golden Year aliens, they probably shop at Erewhon. True! No, if they shopped at Erewhon, then they're living till at least 40, because they're like drinking sea moss and triple organic mushroom root or something.
Psychic energy, where the dead souls of people end up in a place that is impossible to understand. No laws of reality exist. Like time is merely a suggestion, and it is not something that can be braved easily. The warp would be like sailing the ocean in a pirate movie. To jump from your ship.
We're talking oceans again.
To stay in the sea for too long on your boat could drive a man mad. And there are many dangerous
but what about a
fish? In those depths.
Yet, like me. Cue me. I'm here. Dangerous things lurk in the depths. It's me. Hold on. Wait. Who needs an editor? Dangerous things lurking in the depth. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. It's me. Okay. Carry on.
Evil. It simply is. Mostly. There are
evil. He says it's evil.
Could drive a man mad. And there are many dangerous things lurking in those depths. Yet, the sea is not evil. It simply is. Mostly. There are more malevolent beings in those waters. Areas that you do not sail towards. This would be known as the realm of chaos. The realm
of chaos is in the ocean. Confirmed.
The realm of chaos exists in the warp as a special area led by 3 chaos gods.
Okay.
The god of combat, murder, and
Midwestern.
slaughter, with a pile of skulls taken in his name. Tzeentch, god of change, mystery, and deceit. A confusing.
Whoa, hold on.
Mystery.
What is this anatomy? This mouth is also his anus. Okay.
and deceit, a confusing paradox of lies, schemes, and sorceries.
Zinch.
And Nurgle, god
Nurgle.
of rot, pestilence,
Corn, Zinch, and Nurgle. Write that down. It's going to be on the quiz. Corn, Zinch, and Nurgle. Damn, I'm learning.
and Genshin Impact.
What?
All things rot in the end. And Grandfather Nurgle is waiting for you with open arms. These gods ruled their respective realm in the warp, sending their many followers against each other in the great game to be the most powerful of all the gods. So the warp exists. Hell is real, parallel to our galaxy with the realm
Midwestern aliens that play Genshin Impact. I'm noting this down. And now you know Warhammer.
of chaos and its gods fighting for control. But there are also gods of real space, gods of the normal world too. They're called Catan, and they eat
Love that
stars.
game.
You
Oh.
think God stays in heaven because he too lives in fear of what he's created?
These star gods saw the plight
They
of our
eat
poor
stars?
Necrons here and how the old ones cast them aside and said, you know what? You guys want immortality? Oh, we will make it happen. We are the gods of the tangible, of real space. We can give you a cure. So then they ate all their souls
Huh.
and turned them into robotic automaton,
Oh!
feasting on their souls and leaving a hollow shell of an intelligence left.
I was like, are these the Space Marines? We're not there yet. We're jumping ahead.
It's technically immortal. With the power of an entire species' souls, they turned their new robotic slaves on the old ones and hunted them to extinction. The Necron tier, now the soulless, undying Necrons, got their wish at the price of their souls.
Okay. They were the Neck tier, and now they're the Necrons. They were dying. They went to the old ones. The old ones said, F you. The tangible gods that eat stars were like, nah, you want to live? You can live. But you got to beat up the old ones. So there's beef between the old ones and the tangible star eaters. Got it. My friend taught me this at Warhammer World. Oh.
But we can count the number of kind gods on an amputated hand. With time, the selfish star gods turned on each other.
They are still in their 20s. That's correct. They're all in their 20s.
Fighting one another for more chances at glory and power. With this, the leader of the Necrons, Zarek, the Silent King, the man who doomed his species when he accepted this deal, waited, planned, bide his time until he sees the perfect
Bode his time, actually. I think someone told him. It's been 3 years. Anyways.
moment and turned his legions of undead citizens against the star gods. Gods cannot be
Omen.
killed, but they can be broken.
It's Omen.
So Zarek broke the star gods into thousands
Wait,
of
hold on. He said something profound.
time until he sees the perfect moment and turned his legions of undead citizens against the star gods. Gods cannot be killed, but they can be broken. So
Gods cannot be killed, but they can be broken. Bricky 2023. Bricky 6 2023. Bricky 10 6 23. Amen. Gods cannot be killed, but they can be broken. I guess I'm a god. Pew, 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 pew. Not in Valor.
Zarek broke the star gods into thousands of pieces and
Oh, beautiful.
locked them away in vaults, taking their free will away as they did to them and sealed them away as basically Pokemon to be used as weapons in the future.
Oh, this is important.
It's Pikachu!
It's the Void Dragon.
Zarek then
Okay, so he broke them into thousands of pieces and then he locked them up. Did he lock up each individual piece? How did the pieces not re-merge? Does each piece have a Pokeball? Does he answer this?
with his perfect memory, exiled himself for his sins, flying out to the darkness between galaxies to atone for what he had done. This entire situation,
Wait, why is he
genocide of
atoning?
the Old Ones and the rebellion of Zarek will go down in history as the War in Heaven. It is the most brutal war the galaxy
I've
has
listened to
ever
that song.
seen
My dad
and
loves that
ever
song.
will see. This was a conflict that took an entire galaxy-spanning species and pitted them against gods that ate stars. The Necrons, rather
Gods that ate stars that were broken, not killed, into millions of pieces and then shoved away and locked away in Pokemon balls. Heard. Did he lock them with a combination padlock or did it have a key? It could have been touchscreen, but they don't have fingers because Necrons are robots. Pay attention. Oh my gosh. It's not clocking to you guys. It's not clocking.
crippled from, you know, the war in heaven, decide to go to sleep in gigantic tomb worlds on various planets until the upstart species of the galaxy died out. And so turns out when you have a war that lasts 10...
Wait, they fought their war and then they're just like, I'm gonna go to sleep? Relatable.
hundreds of thousands of years and involves the genociding of multiple species, the old ones of the galaxy, and the consumption of souls from an entire race. The warp gets a little wacky. You know, if you had a
war makes you eat.
Nice
war makes you tired. Guys, I gotta take a nap. I just went to war. Bye.
Over there splashing about, so you don't really go in that direction. Nurgle has explosive diarrhea, so you don't really go in that direction either, but you can still kind of get in the pool. The pool's still fine. Turns out when you add a couple trillion souls to that kiddie pool, it'll make the waves a little more turbulent. And turns out,
I think nothing more accurately describes hell than a kiddie pool with 1,000 souls in it. Like, if there's even 10 kids in a kiddie pool, I think that's hell. So, you know what? Good on them. In the 41st millennium, there is only war. And so we're always sleepy. Jaeger ants, Nyaho. We're always sleepy in the 41st millennium.
a lot of them like to pick a side, Nurgle, Tzeentch, or Khorne. So the once
Nurgle, Tzeentch, or Khorne.
Relaxing kiddie pool has now been bloated. 1,000,000 years of war will certainly make Khorne, god of murder and slaughter, more powerful. 1,000,000 years of war will probably make Tzeentch, god of deception and change, a little more powerful. And good God, 1,000,000 years of war will make Nurgle, god of decay, oh, just the tiniest bit more powerful. Now, entering that kiddie pool is no longer fun, it's dangerous.
It was never fun.
Is now a problem.
Don't lie.
Hell is resembling hell a lot closer to what we imagined it originally. The Sea of Souls and
they fucked around, hell became hell, and now they're finding out. Except with Chaos Gods, Hat Kiddie Pool has blood, crap, semen, and whatever Tzeentch flavor this week is up. Now that's not a kiddie pool I want to imagine. That sounds like a disease.
in the realm of chaos are now
I don't like these things. Wait! I don't like these things.
So who else to brave the
I don't like the
galaxy
balls.
than a species that won't need to deal with that?
The white men?
The Sea of Souls and the realm of chaos
I don't
are
like
now
the balls.
intertwined. So who else to brave the galaxy than a species that won't need to deal with that?
Elves. The Time Lords.
The Eldar are
Oh.
space elves. They have a lot
Space-
of
I was
traits that
right.
you probably think
Oh
of
my
when you think
gosh.
of elves. Tall,
Space elves.
slender, pointy ears, bit more
He looks like a
androgynous looking than what
sizzler.
DeviantArt will tell you, and a bit stronger on the emotional side. The old ones, as I mentioned, could create life, and when they were getting, you know, absolutely bodied by the Catan and the Necrons, they made some new races to try to help them. One
Makes
of them
sense.
was the Eldar. It didn't save them, but
Okay. They're getting bodied. They're like, you know what we need? We need some elves. Respectable.
they're here now anyway. Oh, and also the orcs, but they're busy
That's
right
literally Hulk. Hello? Marvel? Come and get your mans.
now.
Oh no, those are orcs. Wait, what is this? This is cute.
The Eldar are a particularly psychically powerful
That's an
race,
orc with a
so
hat.
they're really adept at being able to handle the new turbulent warp of chaos and good at killing Necrons, hence why they went to sleep. Being psychically gifted is basically like being a wizard, but you get your wizard powers from hell. This is called being a psyker. And basically, if you want to do cool wizard shit like lightning from your hands or reading someone's mind,
That's a
you can
Sith.
do that. But you siphon the energy to do that from the warp. Luckily,
That's the
Eldar
Force.
are very good at handling this without too many negative effects because, you know, summoning power from the Sea of Souls with the new Chaos friends can be a bit of an issue. But Eldar are pretty good at it. And you see, what's really cool and also awful about Warhammer is that most developed species travel long, faster than light distances by going through that warp. They create a tear in reality to unreality and move through it. Faster than light.
You gotta travel through a hell to go do more war? Brother, just declare peace at this point. Why are we going through hell?
Travel? Cringe. We go through hell itself to deliver your packages. For those of you who play Minecraft, you know how the nether is like a pocket dimension? So moving 10 spaces in the nether is actually moving something like 1,000 in the real world. That's basically what warp travel is. Just much like in the nether,
but with the hell.
That want to kill you.
Got it.
Eldar found a way to do so in between realities. Not regular reality, not the warp.
The webway. Ever seen Event Horizon? I haven't.
Fabricated psychic realm that allowed them to travel without fearing the negative effects of the warp.
This is giving the World Wide Web. They created the internet. Nyaho, I'm learning about the internet and 20-year-olds.
The Eldar were the perfect fit for the new galaxy, and they took it with open arms.
They made a new galaxy.
20 years. The empire of the Eldar spread everywhere, and it spread all the way until now, the 21st century. That's right. While you were watching NPC streams on TikTok, the space elves were ruling the galaxy, and they did so for quite a long period of time.
There are space elves right now? Okay, come clean. Who in chat's a space elf? Let me know. Let me know. I have to know. I won't tell anybody. Are you a space elf?
The 21st century came and went. Humanity grew and grew, all under the nose of their elf overlords. At this time,
I was gonna say, if the guys who turned into the Necron didn't last past their 20s, didn't make it to 30, how the heck are we still going? But it's because of the elves. The elves are leading the way for us. Got it, got it, got it. Listening.
Humans advanced, your classic sci-fi style way. We began to expand, colonize our solar system, terraformed our planets, created new
I played that game.
Powerful machines and starships. The age of Terra, also known as Earth, but we call it Terra here, was here.
Okay.
And existed
Terraria.
between the 21st century all the way until the 15th millennium.
I'm back. Why are there now humans? Where did the 20-year-old aliens go? So, the 20-year-old aliens are ruling the humans now. That's why we get to live till 32 or something. Maybe 33 if we're lucky. I don't know. And now we're doing what we do and colonizing space under the reign of the space aliens. Nope, the space elves. I don't plan on making it to 33. 33's pushing it.
Not much is known about this time. Not much needs to be known. Humanity grew up, sought the stars. It's classic. Then came the years between 15,000 and 25,000.
15,000 and 25,000. We're in 15,000 to 25,000. Nyaho Lumi. Nyaho treaded water. Not sure why YouTube thought I needed to see this, but here I am. I think YouTube wants you to know that you're being led by space alien elves, and now you can make it to live to 33. You're welcome.
The age of technology. For some, the
New
dark
fishy
age of
alert.
technology.
Yay, Grants just swam in Tilda.
Thank you for the follow, Jaegerins. Okay, hold on. We're in the dark age. We're in the new
Years
age.
between 15,000
Welcome
and
to the new
25,000.
age.
The age of
New
technology.
age.
For some,
Whoa.
the dark age of technology. This is when humanity reached a new apex of technological
Apex mentioned. Apex Legends.
understanding. When you think of sci-fi, there's a lot of things you can think of. Star Trek, maybe Star Wars style. You can go cyberpunk dystopian. The age of technology was deep sci-fi. Like,
What role does Grok play in this era? We don't talk about him. 1-0 too many. Wow, that's 3 years younger than I am now. I'm going Benjamin Button. We can only make it to be this age because of these elves.
a scientific prowess that fringed on magic. This is also
magic?
when the first ever psychers began showing up in humanity.
Rats!
Individuals with the genetic mutation to be able to access the
Apex Legend wishes it was its namesake. True.
warp, and then because of that, travel through it. Humanity was no longer constricted to their early ways of travel. With warp travel, they could go anywhere in the galaxy. They equipped
through hell
with gigantic AI machines, with
oh,
everything
AI.
ever
AI
need
mentioned.
To know about mankind, and
wrap it up. Wrap it up.
Colony ships to expand their influence across the
20-year-old aliens versus platform Octane with the Mastiff. And you know the Stiffy always wins. Okay. Pay attention. This looks like a Gundam, but we're not talking about that.
Gigantic AI machines with everything you would ever need to know about mankind, and sent them out on colony ships to expand their influence across the galaxy.
Okay, so they basically made little human time capsules with AI, and they just sent them across the galaxy. It's like a crash course of humanity. That's kind of cute. That's kind of fun. I mean, do we not do time capsules? Is this not just the time capsule of the future? Anyways.
This was truly the golden age of humanity. And with every golden age, there is a fall. While the new human...
Was that Attack on Titan? Am I crazy?
Sent them out on colony ships to expand their influence across the galaxy. And this was truly the golden age of humanity. And with every...
Maybe I am crazy. Does this not look like... Maybe... It's given... Erwin. What is his name? Erwan. Berserk. Oh, well, I'm crazy. What do I know? What do I, a pink fish anime girl, know about anime? Am I right? Not a damn thing.
While the new human upstarts of the galaxy were reaching new levels of technology and prowess, the Eldar were engaging in debauchery! What happens when a species has everything? You can produce unlimited food out of nothing. Your need for farmers and workers, gone. You have dominated the stars and have created a fast travel system that doesn't rely on the dangers of the warp. You have nothing else to do. You have no struggles, no problems.
Damn, what's that like?
There is nowhere else to
so
go.
You have money.
You begin to experiment. The Eldar started harmless enough.
And this is why rich people do such crazy things. Get a hobby. Learn Warhammer. Come on. The aliens have eliminated their needs for fishing. And now I'm coming in. Someone kidnapped this fish and Clockwork Orange Berserk to her eyes. Whoa. I can just watch it like a normal guy. We don't got a Clockwork Orange anything.
You take a serious interest in your species' culture, your arts, paintings, poems, plays. These are Eldar, elves, remember?
Yes, elves
are heightened, more powerful than us humans. So your plays get
I didn't know
louder.
that.
They start to push on the limits of your hearing ability. Your music becomes different, more deranged. It pushes the boundaries of what is art. The visual spectacle of art becomes more bizarre.
They get high.
More eccentric.
They're doing drugs.
Very important.
They're on ecstasy.
Touch. Pornography is one thing. Brothels is another. What if they all mixed? What if your brothel?
What do you mean,
were
what if they
part
mix?
Of your art and music? And what if those became
Oh.
more deranged? The boundaries of debauchery were not just met, but shattered. Next thing you know, murder is commonplace and often mixed with the art, music, and sex. Pain.
This is sounding a lot like rich people. They 100% life and got all the Easter eggs. They got all the bonuses and the happy. They didn't. It sounds like they should be getting the secret happy ending, but they're getting debauchery. They're making their little sex brothel musics. Hello? What happened to, I don't know. What's a hobby? Bird watching. If you can fly anywhere in the universe, you can see any kind of bird. Any kind of bird that you want to see, okay? You can count the stars because no one's eating them anymore. Come on. They got the happy ending though. Oh, not that kind of happy ending.
Pain is a common byproduct of entertainment. Whatever sensation
Pain?
you can have must be increased.
They just want to feel their little... Oh my goodness. They just want to feel something. They're in their emo phase. They're in their emo phase. They're exploring all this drugs. They got bored of life after living for so long, and that's why I say end it respectfully.
Must be enhanced, must be taken to the limits. The Eldar Empire slipped into a nightmarish realm of debauchery and excess, with the worst of it taking place
Debauchery!
in the webway, a black market for these kinds of heinous
Kamara.
acts known as Kamara. Some Eldar
Kamara.
saw the writing on the wall, saw what was happening to their species and how far they had slipped. So they boarded continent-sized starships called craft
That looks like a
worlds
Valorant
and
gun.
left their empire, seeking a more enlightened, calmer existence among their peers. Some, those in
Okay.
Kamara,
Okay, so some of them did want to be all chill. They wanted to go find peace. Cute. You know, there's a lot of the universe available for peace. I'm with it.
to even greater heights, relishing the pain and torment they inflicted on those around them. All during this, the warp, the yin to the yang of the world, was fed by these.
So, all of this technological advancement, where was the mental health advancement? Where are the therapist elves? Hello, where are the rehabilitative facilities? Did we not stop to think about this? No one was like, hey, since we're living so long, let's make sure we're living a life worth living. And this stream is brought to you by Better Health. Just kidding. One Better Health sponsor would have changed the elves' lives. That's what I'm freaking saying. All this technology and they can't even get a therapist? Come on. How can there be therapists when they're also emotionally sensitive? You're so right. There's other ways of rehabilitation. Why couldn't they all have gotten puppies? Huh? Why doesn't every single one of these guys get a puppy? Or a cat? Gods can't be killed, but they can be broken. And thus, they need a furry little guy. Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
Emotions, by the psychic power of the Eldar, by the souls taken in these depraved acts on a galactic scale. And just like that,
Getting drunk, alcohol cures all. Why don't they drink alcohol and then sleep? And then wake up and drink alcohol and then sleep? You know, they should have manufactured it so it doesn't negatively impact them.
Lyra.
I noticed you, Lior. Thank you for watering the fish and watering the chat. Everybody drink water while you're learning. It helps you absorb information better. I don't know if that's true.
Eldar ended. Slanesh the fourth
Oh.
chaos god
Is-
was birthed
Hello?
into existence.
Can I show
and
this?
Consumed the souls of 90% of the Eldar population.
You didn't see that.
Those that fled were spared the worst of it, and those in the Webway and Kamara were able to stave off the
They did, and then they got tired of it. Oh, so they drank and they slept, and they drank and they slept, and then they got tired of it. Well, then just create different drinks. I mean, if you're gonna live forever, there's endless possibilities. What was that? You didn't see anything. We're not going back. We're not going back.
whole of Slaanesh, so long as they
Slaanesh.
continue to commit
Hello
horrid
from
acts
Switzerland.
of
Hello,
torture
Nyaho.
and violence. But for the majority of the Eldar, their empire died with Slaanesh's birth. The new fourth chaos god, she who thirsts, the god of unspeakable excess.
She who thirsts. I'm listening. Give her my number. Give her my number. I'm a fish. I know where you can get that water, baby girl. Mrs. Baby Girl, Goddess, ma'am.
Of pleasure, pain, hedonism,
Oh,
and perfection
wait.
had been born. With the fall of the Eldar Empire,
I don't know if I would put pleasure, pain, hedonism, and perfection into something, but I mean, if Girlie's gonna have a bio, that's a pretty good one. So yeah, they did make different drinks. God dang it. Elven Thirst God and Buff Woman. Where has Warhammer been hiding all this time? Exactly!
the ruin of humanity. Slaanesh's birth sent storms in the warp across the galaxy.
Who birthed her?
Making travel between star
Who's her mom?
systems impossible. Coupled
Oh.
with a huge classic AI rebellion,
I don't
a
like him.
staple in these sci-fi settings, humanity began to suffer a
Do you
age
still want to give him your number? Yeah. I do.
of strife.
The age of strife.
Planets that relied on
Okay.
intergalactic travel.
So the age of technology, the age of strife. So now we're like, what, 35? 30, 38? Where are we? What is the age of strife? 39 on the cusp of 40? Maybe 39. Maybe 39. Oh, the warp birthed her. The warp is her mommy. Okay, I don't know about giving her my number. Eh. That's mommy issues that I don't want to touch. I don't want to touch with a 20-foot pole.
Were completely cut off. Long-range messages normally sent through the warp were snuffed out. If you were
Discord?
a planet that was great.
She destroyed Discord? Okay, no, she's not getting my number if she destroyed Discord. No long-distance messaging? How am I gonna bug my best friend in Japan and tell her that there's new Pikachus coming out of the Pokemon Center?
Great at mining stuff, but couldn't get food? Well, you know that movie about the rugby players in the mountains? Oh,
No.
And because of these insane warp storms.
Wait, what movie is the rugby players in the mountains? I don't know that movie. She took away her people's nitro and ended e-dating for elves. No! The elven e-daters! Now when I solo queue in Valorant, everyone's gonna be upset. And no one can use voice chat. Actually, not that bad. Actually, give her my number.
and fluctuations, psychers began to appear among the human population a bit more often. Now, this initially had them hunted down as witches, because that's pretty common in this setting, but some deemed it right to protect them. Unfortunately for those people, psychers, because they open a gateway to the warp, don't really know how to use their powers well. And they kind of attract demons, who then force their way through the psyker as a conduit of sorts and begin to slaughter the population of your planet.
Demons coming from the warp. They're using the power from the warp. Demons are different than the souls that were eaten. Demons are not the souls. They're just also demons. Oh my gosh. I think I should have been taking notes. We're almost halfway. I should have been taking notes. Oh, man. Does he have the transcript? Can I read this? Should I have my captions on? Oh.
Age of Strife was a catastrophic period of time for humanity.
Is that a horse? Wait, is that a horse? There's horses in space? Okay.
Progress tenfold over the not 1, not 2, but 5,000 year period.
5,000 years
the age of humanity
of strife
that we know began to form. Worlds equipped with large mechs for agriculture.
Does Warhammer have Spark Notes? Do people even know what Spark Notes are? Don't they just use ChatGPT? Dang, Spark Notes was it. Quizlet. Does Warhammer have a Quizlet? I'm gonna look that up. Hold on. There's a Quizlet! Guys, we're gonna do the Quizlets. We're gonna do the Quizlet! Oh my gosh, we're gonna do a quiz! Imagine trying to call an Uber and the roughest meth head in your city comes to pick you up 1 time out of 10. That's using the warp. Oh. Oh. So, in this analogy, if this was Uber Eats, 1 time out of 10, he would like totally smash my food.
Culture began to equip them with weapons to defend from alien and demonic invaders. Over 5,000 years, this became a custom and tradition, dubbing them as night worlds, a feudal society of honor-bound knights in gigantic robots that uphold the chivalric code to defend their worlds and honor. A group of individuals on Mars, after radioactively bombing their planet to become inhospitable to human life, ran their entire...
Stop! I thought Mars already was inhospitable to human life. What did they do that for? Did they... Oh, they colonized it. Got it. Sorry, missed that. They colonized Mars. It became hospitable. We all saw Avatar. And now they bombed it and it's no longer hospitable yet again. Heard.
Lives underground.
If it was Uber Eats, a cannibal comes to eat you instead. 1 out of 10 times? I don't think I'd order Uber Eats anymore.
On the few life
That's how you can stop me.
Keeping them alive. Those technicians who could work on the machines and keep them operational were revered, and over 5,000 years went from skilled members of society to full-blown priests. The cult mechanicus, or tech priests of Mars,
tech priests,
formed in the ashes of the red planet with a religious fervor and doctrine on the cult of the machine god. And on Earth, or Terra, techno-barbarian tribes waged war across the planet in a Mad Max style of blood and gore. Until finally, a mysterious man who lived in the shadows of Terra for millennia finally revealed himself to the populace. His name was the Emperor. He deemed himself the Emperor of mankind. Where did he come from? I don't know. Why is he 10 feet tall and the most powerful psyker?
He's 10 feet tall?
I don't know. Why is he basically immortal? I don't know.
Why is he on Earth?
Jogo. Who knows? But he's here, and he isn't.
What was he doing on Earth?
All of you ripping up Terra. So he began the Unification Wars, where he and a very early version of the famous Space Marines, the Thunder Warriors.
The Thunder Warriors. Good thing they rebranded.
With blood. Then, after taking over Earth, he reunited the Thunder Warriors into the fucking dirt. This is where we get the Imperium of Man.
Man is still going?
The Imperium. The
Come
new
on.
faction headed by the Emperor.
There's no way humans made it this far. Have you met some humans?
Of mankind, with a treaty signed with the cult mechanicus on.
I work as a programmer. I tell you, if we got left alone for a few thousand years, we'd be praying to machines to keep working too. I don't think we'd make it. Let's be so for real. Humans? When all these other crazy little magical guys are running around? Humans? We're just kicking our little feet and we're like, hee, we're just out here becoming barbarians. Woo! Nah, they just bombed Mars. And the humans are alive? Be so for real. Fantasy, am I right? Fantasy.
On Mars to spread out and reunite humanity after the catastrophe.
So they're recolonizing Mars. Oh my gosh, Mars has been through it. They're back on Mars. Mars, historically inhabitable to humans. Colonized, habitable. Bombed, no longer habitable. And now, habitable again. She just keeps coming back.
Prophic Age of Strife. But first, the Emperor is going to need some smaller versions of himself. 20 of them. 18 of them, I meant. Gene-crafted sons of the strongest human to ever live.
20 sons?
Possess unparalleled strategic power, intelligence, formidable strength.
And I hope they all respect women.
Size. A real powerful force to unite humanity and stop the chaos of the current galaxy. Speaking of chaos, you ever seen that image of that guy? It's like throwing the baby like a basketball. It's about what happened. The Chaos Gods intervened and grabbed the 18 Primarch gestation pods and yeeted them across the galaxy at a whim, everywhere they could possibly go. A galactic game of keep away. So the Emperor had to get them back. So begins...
So he's just like incubating his little babies, and the gods are like, frick your kids, F them kids, and just threw them across the universe? I think I've seen this before. This is like in Inuyasha, when they break the crystal and the pieces go all... No. Maybe... Yes! And the pieces go everywhere. Right? I know anime. Come on.
The Great Crusade.
The Great Crusade.
The stars to reunite not just humanity, but the Emperor with his fallen sons.
Well, the Great Crusade was to bring back Emperor's sons? The Great Crusade was about gathering the little heirs? Now that doesn't sound as cool. It's because Big E scammed the gods and wanted to get back at him.
First to be found was
Horus.
One of the strongest and most noble sons. The
Where'd he get a bear?
Carried with him a legion of newly crafted warriors with genetic material made from their Primarch father. These are the newly made Space Marines.
Wait, genetic material made from their Primarch father. So the Space Marines are the Emperor's grandchildren? So the Space Marines call the Emperor Grandpa? They call him Dad. Okay, well.
Horus, his were the
Horus is daddy. Emperor is grandpa.
And as the Emperor
Granddad
continued on his great crusade, he found more and more of his sons, reuniting them.
So, why has he gotta go look for his kids if he has all these grandkids? How many does he need? He has enough. Gene children. Nah, not grandchildren. Gene children. I mean, how did he make the Primarchs? Are they not gene children? What's different? Meow meow. Meow cat.
With their individual Space Marine legions. Leman Russ, the cunning hunter with the Space Wolves.
Leman Russ.
The Phalanx
Rogel
with the
Dorn.
Imperial Fists. Angron, the Barbarian.
Angron.
The very angry with his World Eaters. Fulgrim, the perfect with his Emperor's children. And Jagatai Khan, the swift, the stoic, and his white scars. Those were just some of the 18, and one by one his lost Primarch sons were returned to him.
Oh, those
their
are the
Space Marine
sons.
Legions returned
Got
to
it.
them. The Great Crusade saw humanity once again reconquer
Love the
stars,
diversity of his
returning
kids, I guess.
worlds of humanity back to the Imperium and killing any and all who stood against their noble crusade. But in the years of the 31st millennia, treachery would break this all
The 31st millennia, we still have 9,000 year. Wait, 21st, 31st millennia. Nope, we still have 10,000 years to go to get to Warhammer 40k. Right? Is my math right? Come on. Okay. 40K, lads, go!
Horus, the
Horus.
Emperor's most beloved and
The
favored
firstborn.
sons, named
The prodigal, the prodigal, well, hello? The prodigal, that's it. The prodigal son, Horus.
War Master for the Crusade, succumbed to the power of chaos and daddy issues. All because of that bastard Arabic.
See, if he had a therapist, we could have talked through his daddy issues. Next stream, Sakana Sushi becomes Horus's therapist. The Primarchs are the Emperor's kids, and he used their DNA to make the Space Marines. Oh, so the Primarchs are his real kids, and then he took his real kid's DNA to make the Space Marines. Got it. Warhammer writing is so mediocre. Bro, they're just like, they're all over the place. Daddy issues. Not a therapist in sight.
Yo, fuck Erebus.
Who's
Emperor's
Erebus?
most beloved and favored sons, named War Master for the Crusade, succumbed to the power of chaos and daddy issues. All because of that bastard Erebus. Yo, fuck Erebus. Slowly, Horus would become corrupted.
Wait, doesn't it look like you have cat ears? Kinda cute. Horus is a little bit kawaii.
Turning the Emperor's sons against him. This begins
his
the
brothers.
pivotal moment in our story, and the one that has like 50 books written about it.
50
Horus
books? Who's reading all of those? Raise your hand. No judgment. Not me. I'm gonna watch this guy. Okay? I'll send you my copy of all of them. Yeah, they're gonna stay with your copy of those things that I need to paint. Good luck with that.
Half. 9 of the 18 Primarchs turned against the Emperor, and the following years were a bloody battle for the throne of Terra. The Emperor originally
Wait. Why are they fighting over Terra? They have a whole universe. There's 18 of them. Can't they just find their own little planet and rule it? Why do they want this one? That's the good home? Didn't they recolonize Mars? I'm sure one of them can go to Mars, at least. There's still like 7 other planets in this solar system, assuming that Terra is Earth. That leads the rest of the suns to go to a different galaxy. What's so good about Earth? Memories? They don't have memories of their childhood. They were sent off into space. There's no nostalgia. Tradition. There's no tradition and culture. They were yeeted. Out of there. Pew. COVID. Out of there. It smells like... I don't think they can smell. And you know what? They look like they can't smell. I don't know what they can smell.
On a special web
I don't want to know what that Earth would smell like. Debauchery, probably. Oh, sorry. He went 2 times.
Of Terra. The Emperor originally was working on a special webway project, just like the Eldar, to make faster-than-light travel significantly easier and safer. Really improve
safety!
Humanity to allow them to conquer the stars without the risk of the warp. Well,
he was doing program development. That's great. A needs assessment. Look at that. Now look inwards at your mental health.
The Eldar to make faster-than-light travel significantly easier and safer. Really improve humanity to allow them to conquer the stars without the risk of the warp. Well, this big red idiot named Magnus kind of blew a hole into that. Literally and figuratively. So Biggie over there is stuck on a gigantic golden throne, holding back the oncoming rush of demons and powering the Astronomicon. Basically a big North Star for people who are sailing in the warp to help them navigate. The Horus Heresy saw many loyalist and traitor legions pitted against each other in a bloody war until it reached Terra itself. Horus, unable to break through the lines and with time running out, made a gambit and opened his ship up to be boarded. The Emperor took this challenge, quickly allowing someone else to take control of the throne as he teleported his way onto Horus's flagship, the Vengeful Spirit.
Why would you go onto his ship? That's the biggest trap there is. Why get on his ship? Isn't this guy 10 million years old and a genius and super powerful? Sounds like a donut to me. Why you get on his ship? I would never have gotten on his ship. You tell that little boy to come down. No, if he wants to talk to dad, he's gonna get off his little ship and he's gonna come and talk to me. I'm not going on nobody's ship. That's not my problem. I don't know where he's been on that ship. I don't know what's in that ship. Look at it. Looks phallic for no reason. Someone else, as if Malkador isn't literally the most important human to ever live. Just let someone else sit on it. Fine.
The Emperor, unable to truly kill his most beloved son, changed his mind right quick when Horus strangled the life out of his other son, Sanguinius.
Oh.
I'm sure you've seen this image at some point. The Emperor
I have
then
not.
said,
This is the first time I've seen this image.
Quick when Horus strangled the life out of his other son,
Sanguinius.
I'm sure you've seen.
This is the first time I've seen this image. Oh, I guess we saw this part. This is Sanguinius, Horus, Big E, on the ship. The Sisters of Battle are preaching Emperor Malkador Yaoi to the cell. Anyone currently alive is smarter than anyone in Warhammer 40k. I mean, how were we still alive is what I want to know.
Seen this image at some point. The Emperor then said, "I'm not gonna sugarcoat it," and proceeded to psychically blast Horus into complete oblivion, killing not only his body, but also his soul.
Oh, so he could kill him. He just needed his other son to die to kill him. You really need to search inwards.
Horribly wounded from this duel, the Emperor is returned to the Golden Throne in order to keep the demons at bay and power the Astronomicon, because without it, humanity would be flying blind. There,
that's
he
fine.
Sits, slowly dying from his wounds and the strain of powering the Golden Throne. The only thing keeping him alive is feeding upon the souls of 1,000 psychers every single day. This was 10,000 years ago. We are now in the 41st millennium, modern day.
We made it! We made it to 40k! There's bits missing from this. This is an overview that's supposed to sum up all of those books and lore in 30 minutes. I'm sure there's a bunch missing from it. But we're just trying to understand what Warhammer 40k is. And we finally got to the 40k! Pachi!
1,000 years ago. We are now in the 41st millennium, modern day. Warhammer 40,000.
He said the thing. Titular.
The Emperor remains on his throne. The Imperium is a rotting carcass of an empire, a fascist, xenophobic cult that worships the
Sounds familiar.
Emperor as a deity, despite him never wanting to be seen as a god. Over the span of 1 million worlds, the ecclesiarchy, the church of the Emperor, is spread throughout. Inquisitors with unparalleled power root out any sign of heresy or lack of devotion to their god emperor. The other half of the traitor legions move about as chaos space marines, raiding and pillaging the Imperium, while the loyalist half does their best to keep the empire alive.
Oh, there are two space marines?
They must endure orc invasions,
what
Eldar
the frick?
trickery, the reawakening of the Necron race, and the Great Devourer.
Wait, why are they waking up? Why are they waking up?
Newest tyrannid threat from the darkness between galaxies that has arrived to feast on their worlds.
Where'd that dragon come from?
The theme of Warhammer 40,000 is regression and intolerance. Every major faction in Warhammer
talk
has
about
had an empire
recession
that spanned
and
the galaxy,
intolerance,
only to be crushed back to a hollow shell of what they once were due to their own failings. Culture,
rough.
Personal freedom, religious tolerance, the simple possibility that alien life might not want to kill us is considered heretical and is often met with a pistol to the head. There is no time for these things. All there is time for is worship of the God Emperor and 1,000,000 wars to be fought. To be a human
Why?
in the 41st
Wait,
millennium,
why? Why is there only time for war? If we all just worship him, why are we warring? I don't get it. Okay, I just got back again. What happened? Why is there fascism and racism? That's just life, man. Hi, Shell. No. I love the Noise Marines. What? There's Noise Marines?
is 99% of the time to live a horrible existence, to be one of trillions of other humans across 1,000,000 worlds throughout the galaxy. A galaxy where AI is outlawed, so humans are repurposed and lobotomized to become slaves. A place where lack of devotion is met with death. And if you even have devotion, there is a good chance the threats to the galaxy, chaos, and aliens will kill you anyway. Warhammer is a world where you revel in being bad. There are protagonists, there are antagonists, but every faction is some shade of evil. Because playing the bad guys is always more fun. And my friend, you have a selection. So pick up that las gun soldier. You and the other 3 million men and women in this single deployment on this single world in this single battle will now show them the might of the God Emperor. That weapon in your hands has killed 99% of the alien populations in this galaxy. Unfortunately for you, soldier, you're fighting the final 1%. May the Emperor be with us. Glory to the first man to die, for in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war.
So, Warhammer is just war. Oh. You know, a 1-minute what is Warhammer about? It's just about war. And everybody fights until they die. Also could have covered it. But I appreciate the attention to detail here. War. Debauchery. Worship. Treachery. The 1%. I took that all in. I'm ready for the test. Did you?
Thank you, everyone. I hope.
No, thank you, Bricky. Thank you.
I have helped teach you about Warhammer. If you are a brand new person,
that's
and you
me.
want to get a bit more about the world, there
that's
are
me.
multiple books that do a great job at showing off.
That's
how
not me. We're not reading.
Operates. For the most part, Warhammer
we're not reading
is
that.
A setting, and often stories are told in that setting with a Warhammer coat of paint. Gaunt's Ghosts is Band of Brothers, but Warhammer. It's honestly one of my #1 recommendations for new people. Assassinorum Kingmaker is an assassin novel involving those night worlds. This is Mission Impossible, but Warhammer. Bloodlines is Blade Runner, but Warhammer. And the list goes on and on.
Where is Pokemon but Warhammer? I want it. Where is Rilakkuma but Warhammer? I will also be taking cute little guys but Warhammer. Cats but Warhammer. And I think... No, I really want Pokemon but Warhammer. Send me Pokemon but Warhammer!
If I had to recommend a brand new novel for a first-time Warhammer enjoyer, these are the 4 I would recommend. Horus Rising, Caiaphas...
Zootopia but Warhammer. I like it. Disney Warhammer. A Disney princess. Wait, Warhammer the musical. I'm on to something. Okay. Have you seen the Pikachu Space Marines? There are Pikachu Space Marines. I want them. I want them now. What does the comments have to say? The Emperor has eaten 3,650,000,000 Psyker souls. He's a hungry boy. Yes. Side note about the Elderfall. They were able to go to such violent extremes with each other because they were immortal. When they died, their souls just reincarnated into a new body, good as new. Therefore, they could murder each other all day long and just keep coming back for more. That changed when Slanesh was born, and after which all Eldar souls go straight to her. Oh. Oh. This was hands down the single greatest introductory video to 40k I ever seen. And now, the Quizlet. Oh, I don't want to sign up. I guess we can't use the Quizlet. Okay. I also found this video. WTF is Warhammer 40k. So this was 4 years earlier. This is by Luton. 4 years earlier, but it also was created in 2016 and refined. This is 22 minutes. Let's see. This also talks about, I think, a little bit more factions than we learned about. So let's get into this one. Siege Studios. In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war and hammers. The Emperor of Man, the Carrion Lord, for whom 1,000 souls die every day, human blood, human flesh, the stuff of which the Imperium is made. Forget the promise of progress and understanding, for there is no peace among the stars. The universe is a big place, and whatever happens, you will not be missed. Adeptus Illuminati. 4967461.m41. I like Luton's videos. Warhammer 40k Primer.
First in my series of primers focused on the universe of Warhammer 40,000. If you're watching this, you may well be brand new to the all-encompassing
I watched you rewatch this video? Oh, cute!
hobby we call 40k. But what is it? What's it all about, and why should you consider looking into it any further? Well, for
Why?
one reason, in recent times, people's appetites have been reawakened to highly immersive TV series like Game of Thrones, or
That's
movie
true.
franchises with a decent backstory. 40k
Yes, escapism is huge. You want to turn this video up. Heard.
goes considerably far beyond these examples. It is one of the biggest miniature wargames in the world and features an ever-evolving story that expands in written text, video games, and of course its original and arguably
Even more.
most
How's
important
this?
feature, the miniatures and its tabletop
minis.
game.
This
It
is so
created and owned by
meta.
Games Workshop, a UK-based company producing tabletop games and associated materials.
Shout out to our UK followers.
Now, I will cover elements of 40k as briefly as I can today, but I won't skimp on detail just for the sake of time. It's
Okay.
as to the point as I can make it, but if you want to know more about specifics here on my channel, I've covered in detail some of the core background areas of the game, which is continuing to expand. I'll also be continuing to produce these short primers to the world of 40k, and I'll also be continuing to make the longer form content, which is featured regularly here on the channel.
So, we're just doing the overview today, and then we'll go into the factions. Bricky has a series about each faction that we'll go into next time. Otherwise, this would have been a 4-hour video, and we're not doing all of that. If you are familiar with learning, obtaining, and storing information, it is better to not overwhelm yourself. So I think 2 different primers that are talking about the same thing, but from 2 different perspectives, is a pretty good way for my brain, at least, to store all of the information. And then we'll figure out how to work the Quizlet, you know?
Often referred to by those already consumed by Warhammer 40,000 as the hobby, 40k
The hobby.
is not one thing to one person. It is a highly detailed narrative spanning multiple empires, from world-ending galactic campaigns to lowly individual soldier stories. It is a series of usually middle-of-the-road video games with a few standout gems. It's a hobby of addictive miniature painting and crafting, and it is a tabletop wargame now established for over 30 years.
I love a hobby.
A variety of smaller games designed to be played without acquiring a huge army, games like Space Hulk, Necromunda, and Kill Team, and these often require only say 6 to 10 pieces per side and are very
Leora
accessible
gave
for
me a
new
game.
players.
Leora gave me one of the space gamies. Oopsie. Which one was it? Let me look and see which one it was. Warhammer 40k bolt gun.
Whereas standard Warhammer 40,000 tabletop may require larger armies with many pieces. Now, before we come to the lore, it is worth looking at the original tabletop game, as this will give you a better understanding of just everything about it. If you've never seen or encountered a tabletop game, this is not important. It's actually very simple.
So I've seen them. I've been to Warhammer shops before. Like I said, I've been to board game stores that have like little Warhammer setups, and I've been to like specific Warhammer games shops just to look around. But I've never seen a table look like this. This is cool. What the heck?
Usually 2 players will engage in a battle laid out on a table at your home
Whoa!
or a gaming venue. The
They
area
have
of play
tanks?
will be set with terrain pieces, often crafted and painted by the players, and they will alternate turns moving their miniature soldiers or vehicles, and will resolve engagements through random dice rolls according to specific rules and combinations of preset unit stats.
Okay, important. The game, what did they say? The environments are created by the players. So I can put my guys in the cutest little freaking pastel rainbow ass war ever. Maybe there's this little spot on Terra that's super freaking cute, okay? Who knows? You don't know. Have you been there? I'm sorry. Were you on Terra? The Emperor could have a tiny cute little place. Okay, one of his sons could like cute little fluffy things. There's 18 of them. I'm sure they have hobbies. Proceed. Thank you for
There may or may
the
not be a mission for one side to achieve, and these games can be highly strict.
What is he? This is a turtle. The Imperial soldiers have the best take. This is a turtle.
Usually paint their miniature soldiers.
The Emperor's secret cherry blossom biome is probably a thing. That's what I'm saying. Also, like, what is the temperature like in Earth in 40k? Because you know how global warming is right now? Like, is there no more winter? Maybe there isn't cherry blossoms anymore. Is it always summer? Is the Emperor having a beach party?
For use on the battlefield, and these can be in a variety of factional designs and
This
colors.
is a Titan.
Some people prefer their involvement in 40k to be focused entirely on this hobby of painting, designing, and modifying these miniature units. And this part of 40k can be just as all-consuming as the lore or the tabletop. Some may choose to split their time between each part, or devote all their hobby time to one piece of the whole 40k hobby, be that the lore, tabletop, or the painting designing element. Now comes the challenge.
I'd be a
for
painting
me,
kind of guy.
summarizing 40k. So Warhammer 40,000 is set in the distant future, a future beset by galactic war, from a skirmishing city turf war level through to planetary conquest and system-wide campaigns fought through its space and planets. It is far more pessimistic than most other deep lore universes,
Megalodon
and also
uwu.
regularly borders on
Nyaho.
what you would describe as space horror.
Space horror.
Now,
Humanity.
40k is primarily focused around humanity, which has through many thousands of years achieved an unimaginable level of technology. And then lost the
Unimaginable,
majority of this
unrealistic.
zenith through a devastating war. Humanity after this ancient war was left broken and fragmented across the galaxy. It would be later reunified by one godlike individual known as the Emperor of Man, and he would set in motion the new order for mankind known as the Imperium of Man. But a devastating civil war known as the Horus Heresy would befall mankind.
I've seen this picture before. Bricky said you'd seen this. We've seen it.
His goals for humanity, and he would instead now become a living corpse enshrined on Earth or Terra. Humanity would become shattered by this civil war, and after a slow, painful recovery, it has become for the longest time a stagnant civilization. Suffocating under its own bureaucracy, the Imperium has begun making the smallest steps toward advancement in the most recent days of its history, but it still stands as a strange juxtaposition of ancient tech that is beyond the comprehension of many of its citizens. It is a weak and precarious civilization, simultaneously able to wield immense military power. Humanity itself, through thousands of years of conflict with alien races, who are more often than not excessively hostile, has become a highly xenophobic race. It views almost all other races as needing to be exterminated and has almost no morals or ethics as to how this is to be achieved. The galaxy-spanning empire of humanity is essentially a totalitarian state that worships the Emperor of Man. The Imperium of Man has large, if not complete, control over its citizens, including many aspects of their lives, economy, social life, education, private lives, science, and indoctrination into its ideology. Any who are not seen to be a follower of the Emperor may and will be persecuted as heretics, and this is often largely open to interpretation and leads to large-scale abuses of power and executions. The Imperium uses this deeply entrenched word.
Interesting. Okay. So humans hate anyone who's not humans. They'll do experiments on them, but also they don't understand the technology that they're working with. You have to serve the Emperor, even though he's, like, not in the picture. Or else you'll die. Also, every single facet of their life is being controlled. Okay. Fun. I can see why there might have been a civil war, but
worship
go on.
An imperial ideology to control and mobilize mass populations of its citizenry for its armies like the Imperial Guard and Imperial Fleet. It also will utilize its citizens to fulfill whatever role is needed. These roles can, and often are, fairly unpleasant, especially when the rule of law is often severe and absolute. Humanity also wields in its arsenal the Emperor's...
If there's so much, if there's total control, why do they need so many people to be doing such shitty stuff? The Imperium is space Nazis? I mean, it sounds like it. It's given Nazi. It's given North Korea.
Gift, the military sledgehammer known as the Imperial Astartes. These are the iconic Space Marines, genetically enhanced superhuman warriors who represent the pinnacle of human modification and military power. Their forces have access...
So, genetically modified to be the pinnacle of humanity and military power, but they make the lesser humans do all the stuff. Nice to meet you, first time viewer here. My name is, oh my gosh, Kanji Ichika, a viewer from Japan. Greetings from Japan. Ohayo gozaimasu. Ohayo gozaimasu, Ichika! Kai, thank you, thank you. Your appearance and voice are also very wonderful, and your outfit is cute. Arigatou gozaimasu, Ichika! We are talking about Warhammer. This is your second account. Oh, naruhodo. Thank you for stopping by, Ichika. My older brother had figures like that. They're pretty cool. Your older brother was into Warhammer? Cool. Anyways, what was I saying? If they have these humans, why aren't they utilizing them for the good of the people? Hi from Switzerland. Hi! PR Multiverse. So good to catch one of your streams. Glad to have you. Wait, I think I've seen you on the short form, right? Hello from Switzerland. Or hello to Switzerland. I'm not there. Hello to Switzerland. Hello to Japan. Hello to everybody else.
To some of the most powerful weapons and force multipliers humanity wields. Much of this tech is ancient and requires careful care and repair by specialists.
Like, okay, so maybe Bricky explained this and I just didn't get it, but like what? I understand the world is full of war, but what is the point of the war? Is the war to end all of the fighting so that there can just be the Emperor as the supreme ruler and everybody follows the Emperor's rule and everybody does what the Emperor says and the war is just to root out all of the non-believers and the heresy? Or, like, is the war to better and advance the human race? Is the war to solidify humanity in its place at the top? Is the war for control over Terra? Why are we fighting? Are we bored? Like I said, it's a big universe. Like, okay, the Emperor is controlling the freaking Apocryton. No, that's RimWorld. I forgot what it was called. He's controlling the thing and he's keeping it open. Do other people want to destroy it or do other people want control of it? Is that why they want Terra? And the red guy, he blew a hole in it. Can we not fix the hole? Nobody knows how to fix the hole? The Emperor was trying to make it better. Can't, like, 9 of his sons come together and fix it? Why are we fighting? Maybe Luton will tell me more.
Dedicated to retaining this critical knowledge. But as powerful as humanity is, even with its small progression in its most recent times, it still stands on the edge of annihilation by various alien races or entities. Humanity somehow has survived to this point despite being on an...
Thank you for the resub, Veritarakimasu. They must be fighting over Discord. True.
Almost permanent risk of complete destruction.
So humanity's dying, too. Like, if they just leave everybody alone, maybe everyone would leave them alone. The war is because everybody wants to eradicate every other race. Everyone wants total control. Oh. But there was also a civil war between the humans. Everybody wants total control. It's a big galaxy. Surely there's room for everybody. They colonized Mars twice. Go find another planet. If I was immortal and I had nothing better to do, I don't know, maybe I would go and search every single livable planet until I find a cute one, because I have nothing else to do with my immortal life. Like, you're not running out of time. Just keep going. You'll find one. Make one. I don't know. Dang.
And forced extinction. Within the lore, this has nearly happened on multiple occasions, and what is left of humanity now in the Imperium of Man are the remnants of those survivors, a highly ignorant, fearful people in a fairly constant state of decay where critical technological information is often lost.
Ignorant people in a permanent state of decay where information is often lost. See, so if they win, then what? If humanity becomes the winner, what are they gonna have? Not advancement, not information. The orcs fight themselves, there's 2 sides to the Eldar, the Chaos Legions fight each other, everyone has a duality. Oh, everybody has an evil twin. Got it.
The Imperium and humanity's primary goals are to locate lost technology from the zenith period of mankind, known as the Dark Age of Technology, otherwise referred to as the Golden Age. It also focuses upon the continued defense and expansion of its territories, and of course the extermination of all alien races, known collectively as the Xenos.
So, they're trying to find old technology. Why don't they just make new technology? Huh? Where are all the smarty pants? Probably killed them all. No? Where are the schools? Teach people things. Nyaho It. Okay, the Xenos, everybody who is not a human.
Because humanity has become so violently and ignorantly xenophobic in the far future, it also has no qualms about committing planetary
I feel like xenophobia is inherently violent and ignorant, but go off.
levels of genocide. If you're not human and don't worship the Emperor, then you are the enemy, a heretic, and must be exterminated.
They have laws against anything new? That's so dumb. They're dumb.
Diplomacy is almost not a thing for the Imperium, and the usual recourse is to just shoot on sight. In fairness though, there was a time where humanity had attempted a more diplomatic...
Are those cats? They have cats! They have cats and they're fighting a war! This is what I'm talking about! Give everybody a cat, and we will chill out. Oh my... Hello? Where are the Warhammer kids with the cats? How can they be dumb when they have cats? That's what I'm saying. Get that through your head. How could you be dumb when you have all these cats? Why are we fighting a war when we can just snuggle our cats? Oh my gosh. I would fight a war for my cat. I would be fighting this war so I can give my cat a nice, comfortable life. They have their priorities all wrong. And I'm gonna say it.
Approach, but this over time has just disintegrated, with most of its contact with aliens resulting in some kind of conflict. It now simply believes all other life must be extinguished, or at the very least dominated and enslaved for work or experimentation. These cases...
So they hate people who aren't human, and when they see people who aren't human, they usually shoot at them, which causes them to react negatively and shoot back. And because people always shoot back at them, they're like, see, we told you, these non-humans, can't trust them, gotta kill them. Huh. I wonder why. I wonder why they're approaching you with such hostility if you shoot first and ask questions later. Huh.
Cases are usually quite rare. There are 6 other races that are seen as the enemies of humanity. Any of these factions can be played by you within the tabletop game of 40k, or models for collecting and painting.
Self-fulfilling prophecy, that's what I'm saying. What is that?
Faction, building it up, fleshing it out to the limit.
What is this? Who is he? Okay, no, forget what I just said. If I saw this, I would shoot on sight. Okay, if I was a little space marine and I had a giant old gun and I see this big ass eyeball with the little tentacles, I might shoot first, ask later, okay? I'm just saying. Who is he? Does he speak? If he talked to me, maybe I'll think. Where's the mouth?
Of their model
I think this is the mouth.
And others may have multiple armies of different factions. The Necrons are a very ancient race.
Okay, we learned about them. We learned about them.
Appear like metallic skeletons. They're actually formed of living metal. They span the galaxy and are in a continuing state of awakening from their tombs after many thousands of years of sleep. They seek to rebuild their empire.
Yes, we got their background. Oh, I like how this builds. This builds off of Bricky's video, even though this predated Bricky's video. Huh. It's almost like I knew what I was doing, even though I found this video like 30 minutes before stream started. So they're still waking up. They're just, hey, good morning. We're here.
Dominate the galaxy. One of their key abilities is that of reanimation. They can reassemble themselves after death and fight on. They're also...
Okay, so they aren't going to war because they want total domination. Heard.
Generally mindless automatons. How this came to be is another story.
20-year-old aliens are getting their coffee. Those were the 20-year-old aliens. They're waking up.
Now, Games Workshop has seen fit to recently rename some of its units, largely it seems for legal reasons, but since forever this faction has been known as the Eldar. More recently it is known as the Eldari, but basically it's
name
the Eldar.
Change.
These are derived from the elves of many more fantasy games and are basically space elves.
That's a thick elf! Damn! Continue.
Despite this quite simplistic analogy, the Eldar have a rich and tragic lore. Because of past disasters that have left the Eldar with no homeworlds to speak of, they now travel the galaxy in vast ships known as craft worlds.
Okay, so in Bricky's video, the Eldar were helping humanity stay alive. So is the Emperor Eldar? Do we know that? Does anybody know that? You're up to the skirt, meow. Also, there are no more Eldar on Earth now. No, he's human. He's human, but he was alive for 10,000 years. And he's 10 feet tall. But he's not an elf. Fascinating. Why does the ship kind of look like a Valorant? That's what I'm saying! It looks like that ugly-ass Valorant skin! You get me, Tub T, you get me.
Eldar wield powerful weapons, but are generally physically weak.
What
and they also
the...
have
What in the Yu-Gi-Oh is this? Splon... Yes, that's what it's called. Ew, I hate that vandal. Emperor Zito Scum Heresy. Yup, he's a massive dude. Very power psyker, stuck on throne decomposing from his mortal injuries while powering the navigator beacon thing so humans can travel the warp. But he's just a dude? He's just a guy? He's just a human? This dude looks like a retro... What's that? What's that robot anime retro guy that's this color? The one with the hair that looks like a helmet. You know what I'm talking about. He looks like this.
Immense arrogance towards other races. Their defining
Gundam, nope.
feature, and to some degree their biggest flaw, is that the Eldar are very...
What? Oh my god, what is that? Hold on, I'm looking it up. If you look up retro anime. Maybe I made him up in my mind. Well, never mind. Not important. There's more to the Emperor, so he's more than just a guy. He's not your average guy.
very powerful when it comes to psychers and psychic abilities drawn from the warp. The Dark Eldar are essentially space pirates who live lives of excess and sadistic torture porn. Anyone who looks like they're about to be captured by the Dark Eldar is rarely something that you would want to contemplate, and suicide would generally be significantly preferable.
Mood.
A faction of many faces.
At the early stages of civilizations, a bunch of the most powerful psychers in the world got together and sacrificed themselves, combining into one ultra-powerful psycher who is the Emperor. Oh! See, Bricky didn't say that. Thank you, Europe to the skirt.
And contradicting goals.
I'm sure there's going to be a whole video about the Emperor that I can watch. So, if I still have these questions, I'm sure they'll be answered.
Chaos is, as
We're just doing an overview today.
Name describes, and it originates from the parallel dimension known
Chaos is
as
hell.
the warp. And this dimension is a reactive
Oh,
plane
chaos
of
is not hell.
existence
The
that
warp is
absorbs
hell.
the most powerful emotions and desires of mortal creatures. The reactive immaterium would lead to the birth of entities of godlike power, the Chaos Gods. They each focus on specific mortal desires.
I know them. We know them. Korn, Nurgle, and Zeech, Zanich, Tzeech, Suzuki. I think I got Korn and Nurgle.
Korn is the god of blood,
Boom.
representing war, rage, and hatred. Zinch is the changer
Zeech.
representing
Oh, I was so freaking close. Zeech.
ambition, scheming, conspiracy, and sorcery. Nurgle is
Nurgle.
the plague god, representing
boy.
mortality, morbidity, and despair. And Slanesh is the god of lust.
Slanesh. My girl. Girly pop, Slanesh.
Greed, excess, pleasure, pain, and perfection. The continuing desires and emotions of the galaxy's inhabitants sustain these entities. However, they also reach out into the mortal realm through their manifested entities made from the warp known as demons. And these hellish creatures are enough to send ordinary citizens insane on sight. Their
Wait, who? Who made the demons?
inhabitants sustain these entities. However, they also reach excess, pleasure, pain, and perfection. The continuing desires and emotions of the galaxy's inhabitants sustain these entities.
Oh.
However, they also reach out into the mortal realm through their manifested entities
So just all of the pain and stuff sustains the gods. And
made from the warp known as demons.
then
These hellish
demons come out.
creatures are enough to send ordinary citizens
Slanesh is neither male or female. Sorry, they, them. My they, them monarch. Thank you.
insane on sight. They're backed by traitors to the Imperium, the corrupted Chaos Space Marines. The gods of chaos and their agents can also infect the minds of mortals.
Agents of chaos.
Often cults
Me.
and worshippers may spring up on planets across the Imperium. This is again one reason why the Imperium of Man
So what do the gods of chaos have to do with the Emperor? Are they related? Do they know each other? Not affiliated at all. Not friends. Not homies. Enemies?
Man is so ruthless about purging heretics, while chaos itself in the material world appears as one enemy that simply wages war.
What
It is in fact in an internal conflict
in the
within
Yu-Gi-Oh!
itself.
Is this?
Each of the chaos gods fights for domination over the others, and this occupies the majority of their focus and energy.
Nyaho
Each god's ultimate goal is
How?
complete domination of the immaterium, a goal which seems unattainable and dangerous to their own existence were it to come to pass.
Okay, so the war between the gods is to be the last being standing. That's their war. Heard.
Chaos is one of the most varied and pervasive forces in 40k and has many forces operating under its banner, some dedicated to a specific god, others that simply worship chaos undivided.
Mm.
Now everybody knows the orcs, right? Middle-earth and all that crap. Not these orcs. These are more Mad Max Fury Road crossed with British football hooligans, and then you're in the right ballpark. Also in space.
British football.
Space orcs are likely a genetically designed species focused for hyper-violence and to be almost impossible to permanently exterminate. They are as hilarious as they are dangerous.
They're cockroaches.
And their entire society focuses around casual violence. The orcs, though, are also probably the most sunny and optimistic of all races, strangely. Their genetic disposition sets them to see things as generally good and enjoyable, especially when it comes to fighting. And they never really see failure as a negative, because it means you just get to have another go later. They also...
Oh! So we gotta think like orcs. They're optimistic. They see the silver lining. Their existence is kind of shitty, but they make the most out of it. The orcs don't need therapists. Write that down. That's in the test.
also operate more on instinct by design than learned knowledge, and their willpower becomes more powerful the more orcs are present, meaning when they are collected en masse, they can literally will things to be true by collective belief. They also have...
And they're a community! They're an optimistic community! I love the orcs! What little cuties! Let's paint some orcs! Let's make them pink!
have a strange ability to just cobble together vehicles and weapons.
You see this? Imagine this pink with stickers on it. Orcs are in it for the love of the game. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, orcs. Slay. Literally.
Weapons from scrap. They also have no real governing structure. Leaders are chosen by progressively being better at smashing their rivals' heads in until an orc eventually reaches the position of being a war boss. When orcs collect in huge numbers...
Look at that! There's no nepotism. They just whack each other!
They may launch a massive campaign of raiding and attacking anything that's not orc by launching a warg, essentially a huge, no-holds-barred slaughter fest. Anything in the way, best
but they're
dig in
still
or
racist.
Get the hell out.
There's nobody who's not racist, I'm getting. Warhammer is given war and racism hammer.
The Tau are one of the newer races and are fast learning that the galaxy is not a friendly place.
Newer
the Tau
race.
Operate similarly to the
orcs
yes. on a more
because the gods can create races. Got it.
Optimistic level.
And yet they created racism. These are your creations. Hello? Make them friends.
But that's about as far as their common ground with the orcs go.
Less racism, more xenophobia. Well... Anyway.
Because the Tau exist on the fringe of the Imperium and are unusual as they actively encourage other races to join their cause. They collectively follow an ideology known as the greater good. This is their guiding principle.
They are opening.
Working together is better than working against.
Nyaho Cal blames Slanesh for everything. Oh, what did Slanesh do to you?
One another, as this leads to a stronger, more peaceful society. However, anybody who disagrees with this best prepare for war. To be fair,
Okay, so they care less about race here, but more about listening to their message. Orcs can't have nepotism. They are mushroom. Literally, they grow from spore that they disperse when they die. Wait, orcs are mushrooms? Someone said that earlier and I had no idea what they were talking about. Orcs grow from mushrooms? You know what I'm thinking? We gotta paint some freaking cottagecore ass orcs now. Yeah, something like that. Wait, cottagecore orcs incoming. That sounds so... Someone get me an orc. Verdo, mail me an orc. Do you have any orcs? Put an orc on the throne.
Fair though, the Tau do usually attempt
You don't have an orc?
of diplomacy
Get an orc.
before declaring their target a lost cause. Their military is largely
My former roommate played orcs. Would your former roommate agree that orcs are so cottagecore?
focused around technology and ranged combat, something often mocked and derided by their enemies. The Tau themselves are comparatively
That's a
weak
dinosaur.
and use other races absorbed into their faction to fight in close quarters. Tyranids are an unusual exception to all previous Xenos. They do not operate on an ideology, a political structure, or debatably a single leader. They are the most Xenos of Xenos and have begun a steady invasion of the galaxy. They're presumed
Okay, so they operate on vibes. The Tyranids, just vibes. They even have orc shamans that act like witches and stir bubbling pots of liquid. Oh my goobus. Fairy orcs. You're telling me fairy orcs. Cottagecore fairy orcs. I know what I'm doing for Halloween. Guys, we're doing cottagecore orcs. I know we have our fish army, and I think Verdova has rat bastards. But we're also... I haven't learned about the rat bastards! Hey! What is my faction?
to have arrived from beyond the borders of the known galaxy and are hostile in the extreme. They do not wield any technology as we would understand it, or their ships, forces and weapons are biological in origin. Tyranids are one of the most nightmarish factions within 40k. Their
These are the
singular
things I
goal
saw in
is
Hightail.
biomass, that is to strip
Rat bastards and your fish guys are part of Age of Sigmar, which is the fantasy side of Warhammer. Oh, there's more. Oh. So, since we're starting with this Warhammer, you're saying I need orcs. 40k is sci-fi. Wait. There's more Warhammers? Oh my god. Y'all fire! Y'all you meh.
planets of all biological and mineral materials, leaving them barren, dead husks. They assault planets with extreme...
Also, orcs are very dumb, but have subconscious psychic power that manipulate reality. All their technology makes no sense, but works because they believe it works. They're the king of manifestation. Wait, orcs are kind of cute! Age of Sigmar is fantasy. Warhammer... Oh... Got it! So like how Disney has different lands, Warhammer has different lands. There's always more. It's like a 20-year brand. Oh. Then there's Warhammer Fantasy, now known as Old World, which is kind of like more Romanesque. So there's Age of Sigmar, 40k, and Old World? Is there more? How many are there? Guys, we have a busy year ahead of us. It's a lot of lore to get into.
prejudice and will not cease their assault unless they are damaged to a point where their acquisition of biomass becomes negative to that being expended. They use all material to birth their forces on their vast bioships and recycle their own units by dissolving them back into the pool.
So you're telling me these... I don't like
of
these holes.
biomass,
I don't
which
like
then they
looking at
draw
this.
to
I'm
create
looking away.
anything else they may need. They absorb the genetics of all that they encounter and
So you're telling me these space squids are space and not fantasy? They're squids.
use this to evolve and create more hostile
There's other games within it. There's Underworld, which is like a deck builder game. Oh, I like deck builders.
and efficient creatures and biomachines to achieve their goal. They may also seed and infect planets ahead of time to often use the planet's own inhabitants against themselves when the Tyranids arrive to destroy the world. The
Okay, I'm
Tyranids are
seeing the
controlled en
space.
masse
I'm seeing
by
the
something
space.
called the hive mind. This is essentially a broadcasted collective consciousness that enables them the powerful skill of being able to operate as one, but made up of millions of individual entities across a planet. The Tyranids are horrific, seemingly unstoppable, and have already wrought terrible destruction upon many others across the galaxy. Many rumour that their already devastating campaigns are only the initial scouting parties to the Milky Way galaxy, and if this is true, the Tyranids could be the ones to end everything.
Oh. So we don't know why they're fighting. They're kind of just fighting on vibes. They just want to fight. Fair. There's also Warhammer Horus Heresy or Warhammer 30k, which is Warhammer during the betrayal of the Sons of the Emperor. We learned about that with Bricky. The Mechanica models for 30k are some of my favorite models in all the games. Oh.
While not wanting to touch on the subject of psychic power too strongly in this video, many factions in 40k feature what are known as psychers. These are essentially individuals who can wield what you might describe in other universes as magic powers.
But this is not fantasy. Heard.
Some factions have strong psychers and others have none, and these powers are drawn
What
from
the hell is that?
dimension known as the warp or the immaterium. Individuals who can use these powers do so at considerable risk, as the warp is an unstable and dangerous realm. The relationship between real space and warp space is a complicated one and can affect many aspects of life in the far future, but this is something best covered in another video.
Okay.
The takeaway for you today is that Warhammer 40,000 is a world of vast-scale warfare and complex interfactional and internal factional power struggles. 40k is by its very nature often absurd to the extreme. Sometimes this can be somewhat detrimental to its own narrative, because when everything is supersized and extreme in the extreme, suddenly everything looks kind of the same, and then it becomes arguably less impressive.
That's
However,
what someone in chat
40K
said.
just owns its own absurdity, and it's
Okay,
something
own
we
it.
just have to roll with and
Roll with
suspend
it.
your disbelief. For many who are obsessed with 40k,
Roll for absurdity.
the hyper-violent, xenophobic, genocidal nature of its occupants is largely a source for much dark humour. Most people that are into Warhammer, they don't take it too seriously, but it is also fun to take
They don't take it too seriously. Fascinating.
things in 40k very seriously, because it contains so much detail.
Oh,
but simultaneously,
hello.
there are many memes
Hello
and
there.
pure nonsensical comedy that comes from 40k because of just how extreme it is. The classic It Sounds Like Heresy being one such example, whereby anyone who dissents from the official line of thinking is declared a heretic and executed on the spot. It's one that I enjoy using all the time in the comments. And the key theme of 40k is purely about
Catch me in the
war.
comments saying
lore
it
is
sounds
a
like
vast,
heresy.
all-encompassing backdrop that stands on its own. But 40k for itself is all about the galactic wars that are unending. It's focused this way because it represents the background for a tabletop war game that is surprisingly about factional war. 40k itself operates on a fairly healthy dose of irony. Much of the events and organizations, forces and individuals often are the result of half-truths or pure indoctrination. And some of those that are held up as heroes are not what they appear to be, and as usual the context of events are very important, but many things can end up being actually quite subjective. The fact that the Imperium itself has, through its devout worship of the Emperor, now has its state religion embedded in almost everything it does, which is hilarious when you consider the Emperor of Man set out to eradicate religion from humanity entirely. Warhammer 40k draws from a lot of historical events and ideologies. It also borrows heavily from other settings like Dune, 2000 AD, Lovecraftian influence, obviously Tolkien, and even older texts like Milton's Paradise Lost and the Divine Comedy with Dante and the Inferno. 40k has continued to be fleshed out over time, and it shows no signs of abating. If anything, it's moving forward at a faster pace than ever. It is a universe that has consumed me for some 30 years, and I highly recommend that you allow the darkness of the far future to enter your life. You may live to regret it, but you will undoubtedly enjoy it.
Guys, are we allowing the darkness of the far future to enter our lives? Nyaho It, good night. Has she already seen the Warhammer animated videos? I have not. Cal, drop your suggestions in the suggestions chat. Rumor is the Tyranids are from a separate universe where a massive ancient beast consumed all life there, and now that something is waking up, having seen the light of Astronomicon from far away. Tyranids are only interested in eating and creating more Tyranids. Imagine Xenomorph on steroid that evolved every time they die so next generation can survive longer to eat more. Oh. We sure are. Sign us up. No, we must resist the void. We're getting fitty here.
Thanks for watching, guys. As always, if you
Thank
have
you,
a suggestion for
Luton.
my next 40k prime...
Pachi, Luton! Okay, so we learned about Warhammer 40k, and we also learned that the factions of Warhammer I have are not even in 40k. Because we learned that there are so many other Warhammers. So, what do you guys think? Because I wanted to get into Warhammer before I started doing the minis. Now that I know that my guys are not even 40k, should I, A, get guys that are 40k since I learned all this lore, or B, learn the lore about Age of Sigmar and then go into that? I'm really liking the orcs. I'm liking the cottagecore orcs. They're kind of sounding cute. I think that would be very fun for ReactkKana. But I do also have the fish guys and the rat. No, I don't have the rat bastards. I have the fish guys. So yeah. Also, if I wanted to start painting, I can send you some rat bastards. I think rats and fish guys are really hard. Wouldn't a space marine be easy to paint? What do you guys think is the easiest faction to get started with for painting? That's what I want to know. Is it orc? What do we think about pink orcs? I'm asking many questions. I mean, it looks like a base... These are space marines, right? It looks like a blue and gold. But, I don't know, the feathers kind of seem a little bit detailed. A tree is easy to paint. Pink space marine. I would make a pink space marine. Space marines are the easiest. Okay, maybe I will paint a pink space marine to get started. Maybe I'll find a Warhammer shop and I will find a space marine and we will paint it. As long as it's not purple orcs. You'd lose them. How would I lose them? Maybe I'll go to a Warhammer shop and get a space marine and an orc. And we'll start with the space marine. We'll make it pink. And then we'll do our cottagecore orcs. Cottage corks. Huh? Cottage corks. Onyo. What? What's going on? What's wrong with cottage corks? I learned that orcs are mushrooms and also witches. And they only... Okay, this is what I learned. Listen. This is what I learned about Warhammer 40k. Orcs. They're made from mushrooms. They live off of good vibes. They see the good in everything. They're little optimists. Okay, they make little potions. There's no nepotism because they're made of mushrooms. So they would be so cute as cottagecore. This is not heresy. This is cute. Luton said that environments are made based on the player. They're so silly they don't realize they have the strongest magic power. They're silly little guys, okay? They're silly little guys. And they would be really cute as little cottagecore silly little guys. I mean, we can keep them green, but like I want to incorporate a lot of mushrooms on them. The Space Marines can be pink. If they think tanks can fly, then flying tanks will materialize because they're so optimistic and fun. I like them. I like them. I like the orcs. I like the cottagecore orcs, the cottage corks. That's what we're gonna do, guys. I've decided I'm gonna go to a Warhammer store and buy some orcs. Woo! All donations will now go to the funding of the cottage corks. Orcs think that colors have power, and with their psychic power, they do. Red makes things go faster, yellow makes things explode more, purple is sneakier. You never saw a purple orc. Oh. That's why you don't see purple orcs. What if I make a purple orc and I give it a cloak and it's super sneaky? Wait. This is kind of cute. Okay, guys. Cottage corks. Cottage corks. Coming to a ReactkKana near you. I'm excited. I'm excited. So next week, we'll go more in depth into the factions. I think, like I said, Bricky has videos about the 40k factions in a little bit more depth. So, we're gonna do that. Okay? What do we think of this time? Wednesdays at this time. Do we like it? This could be Warhammer Wednesdays. Ooh. Warhammer Wednesdays. Let me know. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Thank you for learning with me. Thank you for teaching me. AJ has a new friend. AJ, let us see your new friend. I love a friend. Thank you, YouTube. I will see you next time. 30 minutes or 1 hour earlier if possible. Heard. Heard. But yeah, Warhammer Weds is Pog. Okay. Bye, YouTube! If you missed this, the full vlog will be... VOD, not vlog. The full VOD will be on YouTube. YouTube gets the Warhammers. Bye.